Hey, so we've talked about this before, the BS criticism of Bernie Sanders, that Bernie Sanders is some kind of a rose-colored glasses guy who doesn't understand how politics works. Even though all the senators like him, and he's called the Amendment King. He's gotten more substantive legislation passed, certainly, than Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton, let's remember, authored 3 bills. 2 of them were to name post offices, and one of them was to name a street after Tim Russert. So that's a BS critic. They also like, Bernie's not going to be able to get anything done. Right now we have Barack Obama, the most popular politician in the country, besides Bernie. He can't even get a Republican nominated to the Supreme Court. But somehow Hillary's going to have magic powers, and she's going to be able to get progressive legislation implemented. That's what's called bullshit. That's not going to happen. They hate Hillary Clinton more than they hate Bernie Sanders. And they don't hate Bernie Sanders. So here's Chris Mathews making the same BS point and making it very dismissive. He's now realized that, hey, Bernie Sanders represents what I'm supposed to be for. You'll see what I'm talking.
I've been thinking about this. It drives them crazy. The thought, Bernie Sanders last night got
It drives them crazy, meaning Bernie supporters. Ready? Here we go.
Faced and angry, and he's flailing in, vote for me, give me the microphone back.
He just called Bernie Sanders, he's red-faced and angry like last night. What are you talking about?
Flailing.
What are you talking about?
A wild-eyed maniac.
Suppose he's in the White House doing that.
What?
Well, yeah.
It's a really good practical question,
Oh, my God,
Jimmy.
that's a great question. What if Bernie Sanders, because, he's like a wild card. We don't know what that yet. What? What about when Hillary was wagging her finger at that person from Greenpeace, at the environmentalist? That nothing? Bill Clinton wagging his finger? Nothing? At the Black Lives Matter? Not. Bernie Sanders, somehow he's red-faced. What if he's in the White House and does that? I don't know. What if he's in the White House and then he has sex with an intern in the White House?
Because he's just gotten elected. He's been inaugurated, and he realized that Mitch McConnell's still there.
Well,
he's still there.
Right.
And Paul Ryan's still there. And they say, you got 60 votes? If not, shut up. And we're going to do it at a restaurant tonight to talk about how we're going to destroy your White House, because that's what we did before and it worked.
So he just said 2 different things. He just said, well, Bernie Sanders is going to be upset when he gets in the White House because he's going to, oh, my God, there's still Republicans. I had no idea. See, Bernie Sanders doesn't know how things work. But apparently right now we have Barack Obama. But when Hillary gets in, she's going to know there's Republicans, and she'll know she can't get anything done. What? Or she'll be able to get stuff done because they like Hillary Clinton. They hate Hillary Clinton. They want to put her in prison. What is he even, again, this is the criticism that makes no sense. Bernie Sanders is in the goddamn Senate. He knows how the thing works. He's called the Amendment King. What are you talking about, Chris Mathews? He knows more about it than you. He's actually doing it. He's actually winning elections. He's actually drawing 30,000 people to come on their 2 feet to see him speak. You can't even. How many people do you get to turn on their TV to watch you in your dead media? This is unbelievable. This is the thing I can't stand. Somehow Bernie Sanders, because there's Republicans, we shouldn't vote for Bernie Sanders. But there's still Republicans, and we should still vote for Hillary Rodham Clinton. I don't understand how that makes any sense. Well, how does that, because that makes sense to anybody?
And Republicans are motivated by symbolic votes, like how many votes to defund Obamacare, 50, 60, 70. So if any of them were ever caught cooperating with President Hillary Clinton, they would never get elected in their home district. They would never pass their, you know what I mean? Like for the same similar reasons why that looks bad. Because Bernie's an independent, because Bernie's been an independent for so long, he's able to step over that aisle, and he's able to bring in Republicans who have some reasonableness or can be compromised with or negotiated with.
But he's a befuddled old man.
Oh, yeah.
So what
He's
you're
got those
saying
fingers.
is that the exact opposite is actually true. That there's a much more likelihood that the Republicans would actually work with Bernie because they haven't spent 30 years demonizing him. And so if they work with him, they won't look like they're sellouts. But if they work with Hillary Clinton, that's the person they've said they want to put in jail for 30 years.
Chris Christie has to apologize because he was photographed with Obama during emergency hurricane relief efforts.
Chris Christie killed his campaign because he hugged the president for giving them relief.
Right.
But somehow Hillary's going to get, and they hate Hillary more than him. They've had a lot longer to hate Hillary. They've impeached her husband, but somehow she's going to be the person, she's going to work, she knows just how everything works. They impeached her husband. That's how much they like working with the Clintons. And you know what kind of stuff they got done? They got all the Republican stuff done. They deregulated Wall Street. They got rid of welfare. They built more prisons. We had more. This is the kind of stuff they get done. That's the kind of stuff that says the progressive will get stuff done. You can't get, Barack Obama can't even get a Republican to a hearing for the Supreme Court right now. But somehow Hillary's going to... So this is that. And then they speak very condescendingly and dismissively, like Bernie doesn't get how these things work. He's not part of the establishment. He's wide-eyed. No, he's sick and tired of how things work. That's why. He's sick and tired of money controlling how things work. And that would upset your little apple cart, wouldn't it? If they got money out of politics... That would hurt TV news. If they got money out of politics, that would hurt your revenue, wouldn't it? And you wouldn't be able to make $100,000 a week, would you, Chris? That's what he makes. And he gets paid more than that, I'm sure.
Well, I think they'll work with her in one area very specifically. We're going to see a lot more Tim Russert boulevards.
Yeah, we'll see a lot more of that.
Yeah.
You can park on both sides of the street. Because both sides do it.
Both sides do it.
On the Tim Russert Boulevard.
There's more to that. Here is Chris. So he then throws it to someone else who's going to say something just as stupid.
Beltway and outside the Beltway question. He's campaigning.
Oh, this is Michael Tomasi, by the way, also on the payroll for the Hillary Clinton campaign. Am I right, Jim?
I don't know anything about this guy. I'm sorry.
Look up Michael Tomasi.
Looking him up.
Pretending as if Republicans don't exist. As if Mitch McConnell doesn't exist.
He's pretending like Republicans don't exist. He did that in Vermont. You mean the state he won 80%?
Is this similar to that PolitiFact criticism that he's not factoring in the maniacs that will oppose him into his policies?
Yeah.
Like they think he has no idea there are Republicans who are going to oppose him.
I don't understand what
crazy.
this is. This is just crazy. This they have to find a way to dismiss Bernie Sanders, and this is it. Pretend like he doesn't know how, pretend like he's been a mailman for 40 years instead of in government.
Right. They can't mansplain down to Hillary, so they're treating him like a woman.
Yes. You mean it's like
they're mansplaining how complicated it is. You can't figure it out to Bernie.
Bernie just that's right. Oh yeah, they're right.
They can't do that to Hillary. They support Hillary.
Right. And if they did it to Hillary, it would totally be called,
of course,
sexism.
Yep.
Totally. If she doesn't know how things work. Bernie doesn't know how things work. He's just dumb.
Yeah, he can do that in Vermont, and he can do that to his audiences. But it creates a paradox for Clinton, because if Clinton tries to point out, but you're going to have to work with Republicans, his people say, sell out, sell out, sell out.
That's not what they say. That's not what they say. If they say, oh, you're going to have to work, that's not what they say. Because I'm one of them. That's not what they say. But it's not what they say. We don't call people a sellout if they work with Republicans. You know what we call them a sellout for? If they work with Republicans to forward conservative legislation. Then we call them a sellout. Like when they deregulate Wall Street. And then when Barack Obama wins the presidency, he puts in his cabinet the same goddamn people who drove us into the ditch. Larry Summers, Rubin. That's what we're talking about. That's when we call them sellout. They have to misrepresent everything to find something negative about Bernie Sanders. They have to misrepresent everything. Somehow he doesn't know how politics works, even though he's called the Amendment King and he's gotten more substantive legislation passed than Hillary for sure. But he doesn't understand how it works. He doesn't get it. He's driving a pretzel truck somewhere. Bernie Sanders doesn't get it, like these guys do. Except that he's come from nowhere and launched an historic campaign, the likes that no one has ever seen in the modern age. No one has seen this happen, not taking corporate money, pharma money, big oil. No money. No one's seen this. And they don't know what to make of it. Michael Tomasi, he doesn't understand his Republican. You mean the guy who's in the Senate right now doesn't understand it?
Michael Tomasi
on the Daily Beast, early March, he came out and said, time for Bernie Sanders to get in line. And one of the quotes from his article is, from here on in, Sanders ought to lay off the attacks on Hillary Clinton, the Goldman Sachs speeches, and all the rest.
And all the rest. The Goldman Sachs, all that stuff about her. That's Michael Tomat. By the way, this is quite a panel Chris Mathews establishes. Everybody hates Bernie Sanders panel.